Well, welcome back to North Phoenix, guys, and it's definitely still summer. Today I'm going to be doing an inspection on this 2007 Country Coach bus conversion on the Prevost XL2 chassis, and it feels like to me, I might be becoming an expert on them. Almost a year ago, exactly today, that I flew up to Breckenridge, Colorado, and picked up a 2006 Country Coach bus conversion, very similar to this, and did a great big walkthrough on it. And on that one, I did a roof inspection with you guys, had a deck built into the roof, and if I can be completely honest, I almost passed out like 3 times during that roof inspection. So I think today, even though it's still fairly early morning, I'm going to attempt to do my inspection first, and then I will do a follow-up walkthrough so it's nice and cool in here and I don't pass out. Don't worry. Now, I will still get on the roof, do a roof inspection, and I'll let you know right now that it looks like this. Thank you, James. I just did the roof inspection up here, and I really like what I saw. Whoever owned this has taken really good care of it. I see no problem with the sealant. All the vents are operating. The wiring looks good. The awnings are operating. There's a generator radiator I was telling you about. This one's not loose like the one from Denver. Really, the only thing that I saw up here, besides the previous owner installing a Winegard Traveler on it, is our good friend, the Girard wind sensor. Well, the awning wind sensor. These aren't Girard awnings. I think these are Zippy power awnings, but you have 4 of them total. 2 patio ones, full length on this side, and then 2 slide out toppers on this side, but they are full length. About the only other problem I saw in here is going to be on the side walls. I'll show you that right now. Now, while this paint is in beautiful condition, there is a little bit of slight checking. It's hard to see in the paint here. It'll be good on the radius above. You can see that checking in the black paint for sure, and maybe on the radius there. Those were the concerns that I really have with the roof. I don't expect to find anything. Now, just like that Millennium that we just inspected a month ago in Kentucky, the generator radiator and cooling fans are on the roof of this one, so it looks like a roof AC, but it's not a roof AC. Now, this has a PowerTech 17.5 kilowatt diesel generator on it. Just like all my mobile inspections, I'm going to be running that the whole time to make sure that it doesn't overheat. I already checked the fluids on it, and the coolant was hard to see, but it was up in there. Using the flashlight, I could see it. The only other thing you do want to check on every bus generator that you can find, because you have access to it, is a fan belt that actually drives the water pump. It's very often that thing's cracking. You might have to use a flashlight to look back inside there. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and power through the inspection on this beautiful 2006 Country Coach bus conversion. There's a few things that I want to point out to it that I've already seen, that I already like what I see, and then I'll try to point out any things that I find wrong, but it's a nice coach. It's going to be a fun inspection. Check back in a second. Now, with that inspection completed, I'm going to change it up yet again, even though it's quite hot still. I'm going to take you on the inside first because I want to put the slide out rooms in. So I have some room on the outside to show you some of the interesting things that I noticed. These late model Country Coach bus conversions were, I think, when Country Coach was really firing on all fours when they upgraded their game. And there's an obvious upgrade to the quality and luxury from the previous models once you walk into these. Now, while Country Coach went a little bit modern with the flooring down below, there's only a little bit of polished flooring with this granite. The rest of it's just going to be pretty standard ceramic tile, so you don't have to worry about slipping or maintaining that polished surface. It's just going to be that centered mirror ceiling above. And that ceiling above really kind of gives away how much higher quality these buses went with Country Coach. Rather than having bus air or roof ACs, they have it recessed into here with the basement ACs on it, and this is stainless steel that's been polished. Now, provided the basement ACs are working, it really is a huge upgrade to have basement ACs as opposed to roof ACs. The basement ACs, even though there's 2 of them, there's 4 compressors in them because they're 2-stage compressors, so it's really like having 4 roof ACs. There's no holes in the roof that you have to worry about them leaking. Servicing's a lot easier because it's on the ground level. Any condensate, you don't have to worry about draining off the roof or draining through the ceiling down below, causing water leaks. Now, the only other real disadvantage is that because it's a basement AC, you do lose a little bit of storage on both sides of the basement storage. So that's not a huge deal breaker because generally that's where the bus air would have been anyways. Now, another interesting fact that I didn't learn about these Country Coaches until the last one I worked on some of them they had a weird looking control right here with a couple, like a red and a green light and a switch. That was for an auxiliary inverter that would enable the basement AC to run off of the engine when you're driving down the road. Most of the times that stopped working, so this one doesn't have that feature, so you don't have to worry about that. Now while we are here in the dash area, there are a few quirks and features to know about. The passenger does have the slip-up workstation desktop, which I do like. Now this does have the original Crestron PC in it. All the controls on this touchscreen are working, as we're going to do all the HVAC, lights, shades, all the other functions, the passenger control, all that. Now all the audio visual has been discontinued because they did upgrade the TVs, which isn't a huge loss. And full disclosure, the previous one I worked on, Transwest, had upgraded the Crestron system to a new modern system. This one is still the Crestron systems, and there are some issues with the Crestron displays. Well, I've never seen one of these Crestron dash radios working very well. The touchscreen functions still do operate just fine for the house controls. They have added a very nice Pioneer in-dash touchscreen on it with the backup cameras going to it. So this is going to be Bluetooth connected for hands-free calling, and it's compatible with both Apple and Droid auto functions. So if I were to do a turn signal, come with the side camera, the other side camera, and of course the backup camera. And because this is a 2007 Prevost XL2, this does have a pre-def Detroit diesel Series 60 powering in the back. Sounds beautiful. Everybody's important question is, what's the mileage? We're at 123,000 miles on it. Otherwise, I love this dash layout. It's very easy to service because they did add screw points to it. It's not hidden in the back. That dash panel does come off very easily on the back side. Like most Prevost XL2 chassis, you do still have the level-low bus leveling system on it, which will be controlled with the knob right here. But this does have a functioning HWH automatic air leveling system on it too. Quite often this system is no longer operating, but even has the backup 12-volt compressor that's operating correctly. And it's been holding air on both the slide-out seals and the airbags in the suspension too. So no air leaks, and the slide-out seals are good. Now it shouldn't surprise anybody that this is all real leather here. I'm not sure if this is snake skin leather, or alligator skin. It was a choice that was made. The brown leather has a little bit of wear on both the driver's seat and the passenger seat here. But the most important function on this is going to be that it is an air ride seat. It has built-in seat heaters and massage functions. And of course the passenger seat gets those controls too, because their seat is even bigger and much more comfortable. The best view you could ever have driving down the road, provided you're not in an RV storage facility. Now, two more notable features up here in the dash before we move on. There's a couple cracked tiles on the floor. That's going to be pretty common. This thing's 17 years old. And my favorite feature is right here is the built-in cup holder. I just love that smooth operation. Oh, it does fit my cups. So I lack for nothing if I'm driving down the road. Now, as we move further back, this does have a Corian solid surface material for the countertops everywhere, and I think they made a very wise choice that mimics the look of stone, but the maintenance and ease of care that can't be surpassed when it comes to engineered material. It's also a fairly neutral and timeless pattern and color that they chose, even though the rest of the motor coach is something of a more modern design to it. At the ceiling above, there is no staining, no damage to the suede material. This is the transition from the slide out room to the ceiling here. And as I've pointed out in a few other videos, those are not cracks. Those are seams that were intentionally made to align with the seams in the ceiling panel there as part of the design. They didn't have to be there. That's part of the design work. This is a real leather upholstered sofa back here that does kind of bridge a modern to a mid-century look with almost a traditional look of a sofa all in one, so it can match almost anything. This is just a simple jackknife sofa, but it does have a storage drawer underneath with all the owner's manuals. You'd like to see that. Now, just rear of the sofa will be the main TV. Now, on this floor plan, there is no other main TV up front, nothing coming out of the ceiling. The passenger computer screen right there could have theoretically looked at what you were watching on TV or satellite. But as I explained, the audio-visual controls for the Crestron no longer work, which is something of a great upgrade when it really comes to a modern system anyways. The previous owner already upgraded the TV to a smart Sony TV. They don't interact with the Crestron systems anyways because they don't do composite or component. It's all HDMI and they're smart TVs, so as long as you have internet, that's pretty much all you need. You don't need that Crestron system anymore. And whoever did the install did a very good job on it. Now all the cabinetry in here is going to be painted or lacquered wood, so it's not laminate, so you don't have to worry about it peeling. It does have the GE convection oven profile microwave with the doors of shame on it. Right below is going to be the 2-burner radiant stovetops, but you could upgrade it to induction fairly easily, so you don't have to worry about having the proper cookware for this. Now this will be operated by the inverter, and I didn't cover it before. But the inverter down below will power up the entire RV, including those basement ACs. So that feature up front that's not there, you don't have to worry about because the inverter is going to do it either way. And we'll touch about that later. Now another great design choice was on the backsplash tile work here. This is stone and metal. I'm not sure exactly what that pattern is called, but that interlocking look I think will never age and it'll always look like high quality. And then they did go with easy to clean Corian on the balances back there. This has 2 slide outs on it. The front slide out is this section from the driver's seat to that tile work on the backsplash there. Across from there is going to be the rest of the living space. This does have a recliner that can be relocated. It has its own little workstation here with a little modern tempered glass top on it, pull-out drawers, and again that same lacquered cabinetry. Now some of you might be asking who's going to be able to sit at the dinette table right here. The tabletop is a little bit too close to everything, but you do have these buttons there, so it'll extend it out. So it's very easy to sit down. It's a half dinette basically. So unlike most dinette benches, your knees won't be hitting the person across from you. And 3 people will be much easier to sit here than the normal 2 comfortable seatings that a normal dinette bench gets you. It is also a very comfortable workspace for a computer. If you're working from home, great view of the TV. Better view from the recliner right here, which you could also just scoot up for additional seating here at the table. Now heading further back is going to be the rest of the galley. So it's kind of a split galley with the stovetop over there and the microwave and the sink and the dishwasher over here. Now this has 1 center under countertop mounted stainless steel sink, but it does have that small little work sink over here. So you can still have that sink cover in right here and have a fairly useful working sink with additional countertop space. Right down here is going to be a Fisher & Paykel drawer dishwasher. I just tested that out. It's working really well. A lot more storage down below. Even have a cutting board insert so you don't have to use your countertop as a cutting board. Now before we go into the galley much further, I do like to keep the shades open inside these RVs to let as much light as I can inside. I'm underneath shade to try to keep the heat out as much as I can and keep it a little bit cool in here. But there is a cool feature that I did like about this, even though they are the dreaded power shades that, I don't really like, but it's still pretty cool. Now on this Crestron system, this has a tablet on it, and we can go to living room shades and we'll do night on the driver's side. This is going to be one of my favorite features is these shades right here. They're silhouette shades. They all close to the day feature. And then they jog themselves to the night. So you don't have to go through each shade individually and put them into the night mode. But the Crestron tablet, this is still operating. It does have the old school stylus on it. Now when it comes to the backsplash, we have that same matching ceramic and metal tile backsplash. I think right here, because it's fun to be a technician and an inspector sleuth, because of this wood and the spice rack, I don't think I've ever seen this feature before. Right down here, we have a circuit breaker that says coffee maker. I think originally there was an in-wall mounted coffee maker and was removed, and somebody did a beautiful job. Looks like walnut. Really almost harkens back to a lot of the cabinetry that Country Coach is known for. So it's a nice little feature there. Otherwise, now moving even further back is going to be the cabinetry for your pantry. Easy to get to, and a Gen Air residential refrigerator with water and ice in the door. It's operating perfectly. this is nice and cold in here. So all in all, even though this is called the galley, this is not the standard hallway galley. It almost feels like a separate defined kitchen space like you would find in a house. So you have a driver's compartment area right there, the salon living room, and the kitchen. Very distinct areas, but they all do flow easily together. As we move back here, we're going to find the control center pretty much for the entire bus. This is we're going to find the inverter control panels. I'll talk more about that on the outside. And then we'll find the controls for the awnings. There's 4 of them. Fantastic vent control. That TrackStar doesn't exist, but it does have in-floor heating, which is of course going to keep the tile areas warm. It has nothing to do with the hydronic heat. It's just electric in-floor heating. Over here is going to be the hard button controls for all your HVAC systems. This is one of those Crestron control panels that is also dead. The screen doesn't seem to work. It's a very common problem on all of these. Before we move further back, this little cutout right here is for the fantastic vent. Just, again, they followed that seam all the way through it, and this is a very soft leather here. Now as we move further back into the bathroom right here, as much as the power pocket doors that are air driven or electrically driven are fun and interesting like a spacecraft, I'll still take the ease and simplicity of a manual pocket door when you're living in an RV or a mechanic working on them. Now this floor plan harkens back to the country coaches that didn't have slide outs, where they have a little bit of a diagonal entry into the hallway right here. Instead of having one long shot down, it kind of adds a little bit of difference between that room and the bathroom here. So again, this is a well-defined bathroom space. It's not just a continuation of the salon area or the bedroom, because there's a pocket door separating the bedroom from the rest of the area here. So you have a lot of privacy. You have a vanity sink here with a really interesting, it's almost like a burled cherry wood, but it says solid surface Corian with an under countertop mounted Corian sink. A similar stone and metal tile backsplash. Instead of being white and bronze, it's black and bronze, but that is stone. Looks like granite that matches the granite in the floor down here. Again, all the cabinetry is still lacquered, covered wooden cabinetry. I'm still not a huge fan of these, I don't know, they're supposed to look like a well pump faucets. That's an easy upgrade and replacement if you want to. They just like to keep staining right there. But there is really nice mirrored medicine cabinets above. And it does give you that 3D all around look. Now just across from there is going to be the water closet, or the head. This is a porcelain headhunter toilet. Has the best flush in the RV industry. There's no moving part to it, just one valve. It uses Venturi effect, and it's still my favorite toilet. Now as we look on the wall behind, that's going to be a lacquered cover, easy to clean. That same matching tile backsplash from the other side of the bathroom. This is a Corian banding that will incorporate into its own private sink right here with that same, I don't know, farm well faucet above. It has its own mirrored medicine cabinet. You push on that, it'll open up. And it looks like the previous owner has upgraded all the lighting to LED. Now before we go further back, here's where we're going to find the shower. Now on a lot of these country coaches, because they have a bolt sliding travel lock right there, there might be a crack because somebody tried to open the door. Now this is a tempered dual pane safety glass, so even if it has a crack, it's not going to fall apart. It's more like a windshield, but do make sure you do unlock that. Now this does have a seamless fiberglass shower pan, built-in bin sheet using that same Corian material. I like how they made a gusset out of Corian, and it's not all blocked off where you don't know if water's getting in there or not, so it is open. I like how they incorporated both the white and black tile into the shower area, and that is of course Corian throughout the rest of it with a polished stainless steel ceiling above. Now, I can walk in here if you want to, but there's no crossbar support right here. I'm 6 foot tall, so I can jump up and down. Right here, I'm gonna call that almost another 7 inches. This is a very wide shower, so it's a very comfortable residential size shower. Go ahead and lock that back down. Moving past the last pocket door, which is of course a manual pocket door, we're gonna find the bedroom. You should notice that we've gone from the tiled flooring that's throughout the RV to a very plush, luxurious carpet in the bedroom area right here. I do prefer carpet in the bedroom. but I understand that my preference is not your preference. Over on this side is going to be that lacquered covered cabinetry. Instead of having that great big huge closet that some of these floor plans have, it's set up with a whole bunch of dresser drawers and a little bit of a linen closet here. And across from that will be the laundry center. It does have a stacked washer and dryer from Bosch. Now just across from the bed is going to be the brand new Sony Smart TV. I like that installation. It was very clean, and I don't think you'll have a better view from any RV if you're in your bedroom. But right here next to the bed, you can hit the bedroom shades, and you can still isolate yourself from the outside. Right above, you're going to find the matching bedroom ceiling that looks just like the Salon ceiling. But this is a 2-slide XL2 chassis. This is going to be the bedroom slide here from that point to there. This is a king size bed. It does have some storage underneath, but the power lift that you would control right here from the bathroom doesn't seem to be working. But I imagine that's a pretty easy fix. From my opinion, the most important thing is that it has a king size bed on it. The other things to be aware of is this Crestron system back here is also dead. If you want to upgrade the system, it is a possibility. We saw in the previous one from a year ago. And then unbelievably, we still have a little bit further back to go past these dual pocket doors. Now again, solid wood, it is lacquer coated, easy to clean, hasn't cracked. And this is like an acrylic paneling. So you can see the closet light from the inside. It matches the sconce lights on the walls next to it. And all this is going to be is the full-size closet. Now, I don't know if it is a good point or a bad point. This just has melamine, like you might find in a basic closet kit at the big box store, with some pretty basic handles on it too. I don't know if that's the look that Country Coach was going for, especially when you consider that solid brushed stainless steel wraparound closet rod on the ceiling above. But that was the inside of this 2007 Country Coach Prevost XL2 motor coach, a bus conversion. It's a floor plan that I have seen before, but not with this decor, and I really like how everything turned out. It's very evident that the previous owner has taken a lot of pride in ownership. And while we don't normally end this tours outside, the pride of ownership is what I wanted to show you on the outside. But I have to run the slide out rooms in to do that, so I have to fire this up and we'll run the slide out rooms in. Now, since we're here, I will show you how much room with the slide out rooms in there is. Now, it might not look like a lot, but remember I did put this table out. And then move this recliner back out of the way to where it should be. It's fairly livable. It'd be very tight to use as a kitchen, but you do have easy access to the entire galley area here and here. Most importantly, the refrigerator will open both directions without any problems. Yeah, it's a little bit tight. You're not getting past this bed. That's enough on the inside. Let me go ahead and take you on the outside and point out a couple important things that I think you might be interested in. Now, on these XL2s, there is a lot of concern about the lamination on these body panels because they're not riveted anymore. And it looks like the previous owner went ahead and had the whole thing rebonded. I don't know if they did that proactively or it was loose, but when it was done, they also added these bonding strips on top and took the time to paint every single one of them. Now, that's not a very uncommon thing. They did do every single seam. The uncommon thing that I saw was at the slide outs. The driver's side right here, you can still see that seam of the bonding reinforcement, but at the slide out rooms, they added bonding strips right there. They split them in half and did a radius cut on it on both sides of the slide outs. And again, on both slide out rooms. You can see this one even curves in and back down again. I don't know if I've been unaware, but I don't know that I've ever seen that done before. Whoever did that did a very high quality job. Now, otherwise, when it comes to the exterior, I was talking with the owner of this Dutch Star that was parked here before. He was very surprised to learn that this is a 2007. He thought it was like a 2021, 2022, because that's a very, very good looking paint job and paint scheme. Nothing over the top, nothing over dramatic. It's so beautiful that I think it would add value to any park that it's parked in. Now, some added value that the previous owner did do is that the front tires are 365s. I think the tire codes are from 2019. I think 4919 on the front tires, and I think 3919 and 2419 on the rear tires right there. So that's the 24th week of 2019. They are about 5 years old. Another thing that I did notice the previous owner did is that they added the LED dock lights here. Now on these Country Coaches, they do add this little dimming knob right there, so you can dim them. I didn't know about that on the first 2 or 3 coaches that I troubleshot. And even though that basement AC on both sides does take a little bit of storage away, you do have storage there. Abundant pass-through storage on the front compartment right there. Now in this compartment right here is going to be the house batteries. Now they are pretty new batteries. You have 6 8D size AGM house batteries. They are Lifelines, and they were installed February 2023. So just a little over a year old. Now a few years ago, I had a Country Coach bus that I upgraded upgraded. Upgrade might be a little bit of a misnomer. I did have to replace the dimensions inverter, and that's when I went with the biggest inverter installation I ever did, which was 2 Victron 24 volt 5,000 watt to make a 10,000 watt system. This is the original dimension ones. It is still operating. I did test that function out, and of course the house batteries are pretty much brand new. Good for at least another 6 to 7 years. Now as you do a walk around the back, we'll notice that the rear cap looks really well. The integration of that spoiler onto the Prevost cap looks really good and seamless. There's a little dent on this fender right there. Otherwise the stainless looks very good too. This right here is going to be the mechanical compartment. Previous owner did an upgrade on it too. So this would originally had power sewer valves controlled by the the switches right here. They have went ahead and downgraded them. What would be an upgrade for me is the manual valves to open and close them. Otherwise, there's a lot to be said about simplicity, and that's a beautiful water compartment. Door cord and the city water connections hidden right inside here. It just pops out. You pull it out here, push that button right there to retract the hose. So as much fun as it was to share some of the highlights of this 2007 beautiful Country Coach Prevost bus conversion, I hope I didn't miss anything that you guys really wanted to see. I do my best to show you what I think might be fun to look at. I'm sure the only other question you guys might actually have is, how much does it cost? Now, I don't sell these, but I did speak to the seller, and that's going to be Southwest Luxury Coach here in North Phoenix. I think they are asking about $399,000 for it. 123,000 miles are on it. And I'm going to proudly say they don't really make them like this anymore. These are pretty rare Country Coach finds. And if this is what you're looking for, this is probably one of the better ones to find. I thought the last one was really good. This one kind of was a little bit better. I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate me leaving it up in the air like this. And then I think before I call it a day and get out of this heat before I die, I need to go ahead and close up my fun little cup holder. I love that. And I'll also remind you guys that I think Southwest Luxury Coach is also always looking to purchase RVs from anybody that might be looking to end their RV life or get a better offer than maybe the local dealership's going to give you. If you have any questions, I'm going to put a link to their information in the description, and I guess a phone number down here. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I got to get to the other side of the country now. Again, bye. I don't know why I got a kick out of that, but I thought it was kind of fun and interesting. I thought they were glitching out a little bit the first time I saw it do it. Wait for it. I don't know, it's the little things that I seem to enjoy on all these bus conversions. And if you did have passengers in the sofa right there, they might have the best view driving down the road, provided you're not in an RV storage area. I'm going to attempt to do my inspection first. Otherwise, I'm going to finish up the inspection. which is going to be underneath this, which will be underneath all the tile areas in